My name is Martin Niemöller. I was born in 1892. I was a prominent Lutheran pastor in Germany. In the 1920s and early 1930s, I sympathized with many Nazi ideas and supported radically right-wing political movements. But after Adolf Hitler came to power in 1933, I soon became an outspoken critic of Hitler's interference in the Protestant Church. I was arrested and spent the last 8 years of Nazi rule, from 1937 to 1945, in Nazi prisons and concentration camps. This is my testimony. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me.
Oh, come on, man.
Excuse me? Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How's your Sunday going?
It's lazy, but hopefully, so we have a leak in the shop and it's been raining for days. And so I went over there today and the guy's going to look at it and see, he thinks the roof needs to be replaced. So,
Holy cow. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. I suppose
Could be worse.
I suppose I should get and my wife is going to bring me some dinner here in a minute. But I wanted to catch people up on our dog
Oh,
food
yeah.
go. Yeah. So look at
Here's
that.
the dog food.
Thank you. Here's my dog food. My mother-in-law is staying with my little baby brother-in-law and his family in Germany.
Okay.
And they are so lucky because she's a phenomenal cook. Even during the war,
Yeah.
she could pull stuff together with literally nothing and still make it delicious.
Isn't that amazing?
She was
Crazy.
she was a champion, and still is. And I miss her cooking. But so she has a recipe for schnitzel, pork schnitzel with tomato, and
That sounds so
stewed,
good.
stewed tomato over pasta. And so my wife just handed me a plate. So I might be snacking through this
Hey, I got
while you're
popcorn.
gathering.
I got popcorn. So, yeah.
So we could turn this into a cooking show. There you
I've been snacking on this for days.
kettle corn. We could turn
It's
this
my
into
favorite.
here you go. We could turn this into a cooking episode.
Stop playing because I'll do it.
It's delicious. Um, so anyway, so we had some some serious gastrointestinal issues with our dog after we gave her a can of Purina One. We don't
Yeah, I'm still surprised.
we make our own dog food generally, and we're very careful about what we feed the animals.
Sure.
So she had a bad reaction to it. So my wife also makes homemade broth, chicken broth, right? We just went
Mm-hmm.
to Costco and got their chicken, their um
Right.
their broiled chicken, which is delicious. But it makes a really good broth, and she tricks it up and
Right.
all that. So
Oh,
we,
I'm sure.
for 2 days we only
That's
gave
awesome.
Millie broth, and then we started filtering in a
Okay.
little bit of cooked carrot and a little bit of chicken, right? So kind of ramping up
Yeah.
the harder food, and so then we switched to the Benefals, which he eats a lot. When
Benefit is good food too.
Benefals is very good, so we gave her some salmon and some beef, and got her health back and got her weight back and all that. But we kind of
Yeah.
weaned her, forward on that food, and it made all the difference. And she's laying here beside me, and
I'm so
that made
happy.
that made the
Good deal.
yeah, yeah.
Good deal.
Um, let
Good.
let me let me take care of this very quickly. This program is very often a work born from frustration, parody, and opinion. More frustration and parody, I would say, and a lot of frustration. Consult a doctor or mental health professional if you exhibit any of the following symptoms. Taking any of this too seriously or personally, or if you've ever had the urge to ban what is said in this program, or if you've ever said these words, honey, hold my beer while I vote at the drive-through. Or you can try banging some sense into your skull with a skillet or a frying pan. Failing that, just try getting a damn life. And also, I should say, this hour of well, actually, with Lindsay and Bill is brought to you by the Spine Bookstore, helping Democrats maintain a spine since 2024.
Yep. Yep.
So what do you
Speaking
think?
of
Yeah.
politicians,
Yes. I'm having
so
I'm
as my
having more.
husband would say, we should not dance on someone's grave, but I'm finding it very hard not to because Lindsay Graham from South Carolina passed away last
Yeah.
night.
I was very, very careful.
And
I was very careful to be. I woke up in the middle of the night and I
yeah,
started scrolling through the news. That came across my feed. I instantly thought of a joke, not so much at Lindsey Graham's expense, but at Scott
sure.
Jennings' expense, right? And that
Sure.
was the death of Lindsey Graham was confirmed after a 20-minute phone call that he made with Scott Jennings, which throws a shot at the Mitch McConnell situation and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and Scott Jennings especially. But I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to be the first out of the gate with jokes. I grew up on jokes about serious situations right
Mm-hmm.
off the bat. At some
Yeah.
point, at some point in our history, we stopped doing that, right?
Yeah.
There's
We forgot to find humor in everything.
Yes. There's that terrible joke that what does NASA stand for that came out the same day I heard it, and this is long before the internet. Uh,
Yeah.
the same day that the Challenger spacecraft crashed or blew up. What does NASA stand for? Need another 7 astronauts. Why do they only
Well,
serve Sprite on the Space Challenger on the space shuttle? Because they can't get 7 Up. Those came out
I've
pre-internet
heard that one.
within 24 hours of that disaster. We did that with
Well,
everything. That was our way of dealing with it. I'm sorry.
no, I think my husband's right, and that we shouldn't celebrate someone's death, But it makes it really hard when you have someone who championed a bill that allowed men to beat the shit out of women if they got an abortion. It,
Yeah.
it makes it really hard not to be like, oh, thank God. You know what I mean?
Keep talking. I'm eating.
You're fine. Me too. So,
This is delicious, by the way. We'll send you
yes,
the
my
recipe.
husband
It's
is right.
got a nice little spice to it.
Yay.
Hmm?
Um, he's right in that we shouldn't dance on somebody's grave.
Or not.
So, but when you look at the things that somebody's done, like Charlie Kirk, Mitch McConnell,
Yes.
the decisions that they voted on, it makes it really, really, really difficult not to be like, oh, thank God, one less person, and I struggle with that because, my husband is right, but also I I want to celebrate in someone no longer having any power that wants to actively vote for things like let's have you, be
Yeah.
beat to death because you chose to have a medically legal procedure.
They have actively undermined these men, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Charlie Kirk. They have actively undermined the the ascension and the realization of the Bill of Rights and the
Hmm.
Constitution of this United
Yeah,
States.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So in favor of religiosity, a poison
Hmm.
religiosity. I'm not against religion, but a poison
Yeah.
religiosity in
Hmm.
which is anti-LGBTQ, which is
Oh
anti,
yeah.
which is anti-black, which is anti-woman,
Hmm.
which is anti damn near
Yeah.
everything, right?
Hmm.
Except for uh who who you who you adhere to
Hmm.
publicly.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's anti-Muslim, it's anti-Buddhist, it's anti-Asian,
It's bad.
it's anti-Hispanic, it's anti-minority. And this country was built and made for and designed to protect minorities. It's just taken us 250 years to begin to realize that, right?
Yeah. Well, before we get off topic, because I know you and I have a lot to do that. What are you doing this weekend? Oh my God, that looks so good. Talk to me about what you're doing this weekend, because that's going to lead us into our topic today.
So I'm attending as a presenter at the Imaginarium convention. Initially, I was going to do my own presentation with about AI, but AI is transforming so fast,
Hmm.
and so greatly that I'm pausing that. So I'm doing on Friday. I'm doing let's see. I'm moderating a discussion uh, on clothing and settings for historical drama. So
Okay.
that's going to be very interesting. That's I'm sorry, that's on Saturday. On Friday, will AI replace us, and how do you use it? I'm
Okay.
part of a panel on that. So
Okay.
um, uh, we've talked about AI.
Hmm.
I'm still and I was just uh re reimagining a lot of my paintings and artwork
Uh-huh.
in AI using photorealistic um, software.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I was astounded at how amazing the imagery came out, right? And
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
and I was also updating a lot of photographs. Took a lot of black and white photographs during the war, and over the years, I really liked black and white photography. I managed to protect and save a lot of my wife's early photography when they became refugees.
Sure.
So there are a lot of their family memories, which were all black and white and these washed out colors. So I've reconstituted those in AI, and
Hmm.
you know, so I've been very, very careful at rebuilding the colors, walls, and sofas, and checking with relatives and sources and everything to make sure that it's exactly how it was in these black and white photographs. So anyway, I'm really happy with that aspect of AI, but I can't
Sure.
disconnect it from the pollution, from the electrical usage, the predatory electrical usage, uh,
Hmm.
and and the cost to the average American that that entails on a lot of different levels. So I'm I'm torn about AI. I'd love your thoughts.
Well, me too, because There's a large group of people that are absolutely against AI 100%. And my immediate response is, okay, well then you can't use spell check anymore. You can't use Grammarly. You can't use
And copy
any
paste.
map.
Yep. Yep.
So, if you're 100% against AI, then you just need to stop using computers.
Yep.
Because even back in like the 90s, we had that paperclip, Mr. Clippy, or whatever the hell his name was. Hi, I'm Mr. Clippy. That was AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, this whole hard line that people have on AI to me does not make sense. And I say that with the caveat of there's a difference between creative AI and assisted AI.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I have no problem with assisted AI. Here, help me check my grammar. Give me directions to this location.
Yeah.
Hey, these are the images that I have. Can you help me put them together?
Right at the truth.
Can you check my grammar? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then there's this whole thing like with Barnes and Noble, where Barnes and Noble has come out and said that they're going to, I have to find the article, but they said that they're going to sell books that are 100% written by AI. That's bullshit.
Yes.
That's it. AI does not have any business writing books. People write books.
Right.
AI doesn't, that's where I draw the line is
Yeah.
when you do something 100% from AI and said, oh, I did this. No, you didn't. AI did that.
Yes. Yeah. So from a writer's perspective, um, first of all, AI is here to stay. It's not, it's
Yeah.
not, it's not going away. But
No.
like everything, the internet, Facebook, TikTok, and I have
Yeah.
a very interesting article that we're going to talk about
Hmm.
TikTok and the algorithms and how it skews voter perceptions. Anyways, so
Hmm.
AI is here to stay, but it should be a tool.
Hmm.
But again, all of these things, all
Hmm.
the technologies are never regulated at the point of origin. There are always it's always this looking back, oh, I wish we'd have done this. When are we ever going to learn that lesson? Right? I
We're
mean,
not. We're not.
if I stub my toe walking to the kitchen in the middle of the night one night, I'm not going to do it the next night. I'm going to pause, look to see what's there. And so I'm learning from, but politically, we don't learn those lessons.
No.
We just
My
go,
big
yeah,
my
go ahead.
biggest example of that we don't learn is the show Battlestar Galactica.
Hmm.
Because for me, and you know me, I'm a movie and TV person, but I mean, that whole show starts off because AI took over and bombed our own planet, and we had to escape and flee to save humanity. And we
Right.
spend what, 5 seasons or something looking to find a planet. So we find a planet, we start over with humanity, and then it does that, like 100 years later or something like that, and we are exactly right back where we started with AI and technology, and we didn't learn shit.
Right. Yeah.
And I just remember watching the series finale going, are you freaking kidding me? But it
The
was really prophetic because humanity does not learn.
social media. When Facebook started, and we had MySpace and all these others
Hmm.
as sort of a beginning, so we could have tracked that. We could have tracked the way
Yeah.
the way it affects the brain. We could have tracked
Hmm.
how what it does to young minds, to growing minds, right?
Hmm.
So we could have had legislation in place when Facebook began, and its algorithms incorporate these incentives. What is it, dopamine or whatever?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, these incentives that hook a person to this social
Hmm.
media rather than it being a tool, and having some cognitive idea of what you're getting into. It was just
Yeah.
everybody's doing it.
Well, but I mean, we should regulate books. We don't need to regulate social media. We should regulate books. We should regulate the human condition. We don't need to
Right.
regulate social media where we can feed you
Right.
things that we need you to,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Yeah. Um, TikTok was exactly the same way. It was a video version of Facebook
Hmm.
where it
Hmm.
just it reaffirmed, or we thought, and I'll get to this
Hmm.
in just a moment. Excuse me, where we thought that it actually um, reaffirmed what you believed and reflected all of that back at you, right?
Yeah, right.
But it
I
doesn't.
think it actually reaffirms what it wants you to believe.
Yeah, so let me read this real quick. Study
Okay.
confirms what many suspected: the 2024 election was rigged. That, of course, is a headline opinion by Tom Hartman, but it's based upon fact. He writes a peer-reviewed release Thursday in Nature, which I've gone to Nature many, many times.
Hmm.
They're a solid, reputable source. The world's most prestigious scientific journal has finally put hard numbers to what a lot of us suspected the moment the 2024 election was called for Trump and Republicans in Congress by the big networks. The algorithms that control our largest social media platforms intentionally and explicitly tilted the playing field, and they tilted it for Donald Trump and the
Hmm.
GOP. Um, so I went. He gives a link to the Nature article, and I went directly to the Nature article. Uh, their criteria for this study was exhaustive through 323 audit experiments with controlled sock puppet accounts seeded with Democratic
Wow.
or Republican content across 3 U.S. states. That accounts seeded with partisan content exhibited systematic and asymmetric differences in partisan exposure. In other words, based upon and this algorithm, or the algorithms that track your viewing habits, should, in theory, be be sort of bland, right? If
Yeah.
if you like uh monkeys, clapping toy monkeys, and you love
Yeah.
watching a video, that should be your feed. But or associated feeds.
Hmm.
Instead, what they're doing is they're feeding you right-wing content
Oh,
based
absolutely.
upon, yeah, based upon the profile of your choices. So probably somebody who likes watching toy monkeys clap and laugh probably has a liberal lean, right?
Probably, yeah.
Probably. So what they do is they inject right-wing propaganda
Hmm.
into that, and we'll post a link so people can look at this data for themselves. Uh,
Yeah.
I'll also post a link to my dinner and the recipe. Um, but so what they do is they'll seed that person's left-leaning uh, feed with right-wing propaganda.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And it might be subtle. So it might be a subtle push and pull where you'll be seeing your feed, and there'll be something about black crime
Hmm.
or crime in Chicago, but it'll be
Hmm.
it'll be black people or Mexicans or gangbangers, right? Which is leading you down a road. On the other
Hmm.
side of the coin, the Republican leaning or right leaning uh, viewer was not subject to that. And
Yeah.
that's a problem. That's
Well,
that's not just propaganda, that's outright manipulation.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that we have known for a while that that was going on, but to have actual proof, and I mean,
Yeah.
the government has always been, look over here while this is happening. And by the time you realize that this is happening, it's too late, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think too, it's an information overload.
Yeah.
That you get dumped with so much information that you kind of are like, oh my God,
Yeah.
just okay, you know.
And to be fair, Tom Hartman kind of left this out of his piece, but they do account for that. They do
Yeah.
account for uh, people turning off to some of that, and so depending on your politics, you can be less susceptible to that. But
Hmm.
there are a lot of people that are on TikTok and Facebook who are uninformed.
Yeah.
And if this is all the news that they see, and
Hmm.
unfortunately for a lot of this country, and
It is.
a lot of people uh, in the age demographics that that this hit skewed
Oh,
towards
absolutely.
Trump and the right and Charlie Kirk in that last
Hmm.
election. And
Hmm.
yeah, but
It's bad.
that's a manipulation. So the takeaway that I had from this, and that I had from the article, not Tom Hartman's article, but the Nature article, was that
Hmm.
vulnerable spaces were less authentic, where less authentic news information is found, is manipulated and skewed towards the right, as shown in this study, which means somebody who designs that algorithm, and that's a human being
Yeah.
who designs that algorithm, designs it in that way to skew it towards the right. So
Yeah.
much for liberal media.
Hmm. Well, and I think that just like you said, AI is here to stay, but I don't think that we should blindly trust it either.
Yeah, of course, and this is so a lot of these algorithms now are run by AI,
Oh, yeah.
but they're also run with that skewed number system, that skewed equation, right?
And I think AI, anybody who doesn't think that our computers and our phones are not listening to us, you're crazy because Adam and I will discuss something.
Yeah.
And I shit you not, I'll pull up Facebook like an hour later and
Yeah.
I'll start getting ads for
Yeah,
that
of course.
specific
Yeah.
thing. Hmm.
Well, when you sign into Facebook, you agree to their terms, which is
Hmm.
third party sales of your data.
Yep.
So,
It's
there's one more
nuts.
thought on this, uh, for just to feed this aspect of AI. The
Okay.
result was that Democratic leaning voters were pushed greater right wing content. Uh, that was arrived at through, as I said, the algorithm mapping their choices and then deliberately pushing alternative content that did not happen for the right leaning users. Um,
Yeah.
or or it pushed that right leaning content for unassigned or um, apolitical. Um,
Yeah.
so, which is
Yeah. It's just, it's
so
weird.
they could they could theoretically do anything with that. They could, if you want to take it to its logical extreme, go out and kill XYZ people,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Or hunt down Joe Blow because he's
Yeah.
evil, right? Uh,
Ha-
go
have
ahead.
you ever, or do you remember me? And I know I've talked about this before, but do you ever remember me talking to you about the book Feed?
Yes.
Okay. So, um, I read this book when I was in college for a class that I was doing. And I remember it fucked me up so bad
Yeah.
because it was just Jesus, it was weird. It just it messed me up so bad.
Mhm.
So the summary is that a for Titus and his friends, it started out like any ordinary trip to the moon, and this is a dystopian novel. A
Mhm.
chance to party during spring break, but that was before the crazy hacker caused all of their feeds to malfunction, sending them to the hospital to lie around with nothing inside their heads for days. So the premise is they all have a chip in the back of their neck, right?
Mhm.
And it was before Titus met Violet, a beautiful, brainy teenage girl who had decided to fight the feed and its ever present ability to categorize human thoughts and desires. M.T. Anderson's not so brave new world is a smart, savage satire that has captivated readers with its view of an imagined future that veers unnervingly close to here and now. And I remember reading it and it just
Yeah.
because having a chip in your head that someone could hack
Mhm.
oh my god. And then you have things like Elon Musk wanting us to get chipped over my dead body, because if you get chipped,
Yeah.
like you said last time we were talking about, that gives somebody access to your brain.
Yes,
No
absolutely.
thank you. Nope, I am super good.
Which they're very, very close to doing right now. So I've got a lot of things to say about AI. We need to take a break. And then
Okay.
so we could do it this way. Well, this could be a standalone segment, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then we could just do, so we're going to do a few segments here. But we could kind of stagger those through the week to kind of cover us as because you're going away for this for the weekend. Um
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going away.
Yep, I'm going to Asheville, North Carolina.
There you go. There you go. So I mean, I'll be back on Sunday, but I don't know what kind of shape I'm going to be in.
I'll be back on Monday,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's take a break. And we're going to come
okay.
back right after. You're listening to Well Actually with Lindsay and Bill. Please, 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 please like us on YouTube, Blue Sky, and Facebook. And give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down or leave us a comment. Uh, and if you can, we would love it if you'd share this program with your
Mm-hmm.
with your
Yep.
with your social community.
Yes, please. All right, we'll be back.
Books are adventure and discovery, and books can heal. When you open that door, like life, just imagine what awaits. I'm Lindsay Schultz, owner of the Spine Bookshop in Smyrna, Tennessee. I'm also an author and book dragon, and keeper of the Banned Book Brigade. Visit us online at thespinebookshop.com or call 615-768-9833. Illuminate your mind. The Spine Bookshop. Thespinebookshop.com. We match books to people.
Stupid, stupid. Hey, folks. Before we go, Lindsay and I are asking for a little bit of help. We both care deeply about books. Lindsay and I became friends over her work fighting against book bans in her home state of Tennessee. We've written a play about book bans titled This Play Might Offend You, and we want to bring it to the stage. This play will get national attention. We also want this play to be free. We want to make a difference in this space. Lindsay and I also understand that everyone is coming up a little bit short these days. If that's you, no worries. And we hope things turn around for everyone soon. That's a big reason why we began, well, actually, in the first place. In that case, we hope that you would please share the show and the link to our fundraiser. So we booked a theater and just need to pay for it. Not a lot, but more than two working class mooks can shoulder alone. At the end of this message and in the notes, I have posted a link to our GoFundMe. If you can spare a couple of dollars, it's greatly appreciated. If you can't, again, please share the link. Thank you. From Lindsay and me.